I think I did it. Hey, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Romantasy Roundtable, a tale of Rick and Roses. My name is Rick, and I'm joined with my roses.
Amanda.
And Kim.
And as per usual, as per my last email, if you like this somehow, we would always appreciate if you could like this video, like this podcast episode wherever you're watching it. Subscribing absolutely helps, so please shoot us a subscribe. Would love it if you listen. Don't care if you don't. Love to subscribe though. So please like, subscribe, and comment somewhere. I haven't checked them this week, but that's because we've been busy. But that's fine. Comment somewhere in the YouTube description, which I'll check in a second. And not description, comment section of the video below. On the Spotify, or an email at romantasyroundtable@gmail.com. Did it. Now I'll check the comments on the YouTube.
I would like to tell a story.
Oh, God.
And that story is about Rick and the way that he leads our department. First of all, I'd like to preface all of this by saying we had our 11th annual language festival this week. It's 2 nights long. This is the third one that Rick has been at the helm as the department clerk for. Is that true? Third?
Honestly, I think it's the fourth one.
Fourth one that Rick has been at the helm as the department clerk for. He works very hard to clerk the team. We had excellent language nights, and we should all be very proud of ourselves, but Rick was a really great leader, and so I want to give him some credit for that, and now I'm going to make fun of him.
Yay! That's what I'm here for.
So the other day, it was a Thursday, that Mary texted him and was like, can I ask you a question, but I need you to just answer the question. What did she say?
I hate this. I hate this all.
Can you say it? What did she say?
Yeah, I have it in my goddamn text. It's fucking bullshit. All I get to do is get tacked. Inside of work, outside of work, everywhere. Here's what Mary says to me at 6:27 in the morning. Good morning. I'd like to ask you a question, but by asking the question, I'm simply looking for information. I'm not looking for you to do anything with my question after I ask it. Is that clear and understood? Also, my question is not serious. And I'm like, okay.
The next day, I texted Rick. What was the question? It was, are you getting us coffee?
Yes. Her question was, are you getting us coffee? Riveting shit.
Here's a text I sent the following day. Can I ask you a question, but it's just a question and you don't have to change your behavior based on the answer. Mary and I need a code for this. It's too lengthy.
I hate it. I hate it all.
What the fuck are you people talking about? Anyway, the question that I asked was, do you have Audible credits? And Rick didn't. But I found a screenshot of a text that I sent Rick last year, on this day last year. Are you ready? No wrong answer. Are you getting treats for our meeting this morning? In all caps. This is not me asking you to get treats. This is me wondering if I should get food with my coffee.
Do all of you Rosebuds hear how I'm treated? I'm treated like shit. Like actual shit.
But here's the thing. If we ask, like if I say, Rick, are you getting coffee? He's going to go out of his way to get us coffee just by me asking the question.
Mm-hmm.
This is anti-cancer medic. Anti-cancer, anti-comedic.
What?
This is anti-Semitism against cancer people.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted, anyway, it's just funny to me that exactly 1 year ago today, I asked you the same question, like, are you getting us treats? But then his response was that he had already gotten us treats. And he sent us a picture of them.
Well, here is what I'm disappointed about. On Monday evening, Rick texted and said, what are your bagel orders? Because on Friday, I'm going to get bagels. I did not get a Friday morning bagel.
Nobody did.
Oh.
A Friday morning bagel.
It was all a ruse.
It was a ruse.
So
yeah, but I was promised a Friday morning bagel.
All right. Well, then, all right, fine. Well, then after Amanda texted me that bullshit about her thing, I said, here's what you should do. Here's this great Audible deal. And then I say, just listen to me. Don't do the thing you normally do.
What's the thing I normally do? Not listen to you?
Yeah.
Is that a thing I normally do?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And then you're like, I don't understand why it went wrong.
Sometimes when the two of you say the same thing, I listen to whoever said it second, and whoever said it first gets really mad. Like when I got a high yield savings account in like a day because Rick told me to, and Tristan was like, I've literally been yelling at you about this for 5 years. And then when Tristan was like, hey, your Disney Plus subscription is screwed up. And I was like, oh, let me fix that. And Rick was like, we got in a shouting match about this a month ago. Look, when you agree on something, it must be true.
Everyone's just trying to help you, and you're just living in the plants.
I need a lot of help.
Yeah, so speaking of people who are listening to us right now and are actually here to listen about a book rather than
our lives,
our fucked up dynamics.
Hi, everybody. We're here to talk about chapters 45 to the end of Heir of Fire, the third or fourth book.
Actually,
in the Throne of Glass series, depending on how you measure it.
Yeah, hold on. Just I'm actually curious. Throw me an email or a comment. I'm curious. Is this the third or the fourth book? Right? Like if it's the third book.
Last episode.
Good.
Last episode we asked. We were like, when do you read Assassin's Blade, and do you tandem read?
Yeah.
And then we said we were going to do a TikTok and set up a poll.
All right. Well, I was busy.
Yeah. Sure. Anyway, is this the third or fourth book? Is Assassin's Blade book 0? Is it book 2.5? Is it?
I referred to it, or I attempted to refer to it again as the Christmas special, and you guys both shot me down.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we're all unanimously deciding that this new book is ACOTAR 6, when in reality,
right,
according to like the way that novellas are counted, it's ACOTAR 5. But we're all just calling it ACOTAR 6, 7, and 8, even though it's 2 books. I don't know. I'm still very confused. I pre-ordered my books though.
Great. Heir of Fire.
Is 7 if the book that comes out after book 7, are we suddenly going to start calling that book 9?
I don't know.
Because technically it's 2 books.
Sarah, tell us what to do.
Right? Sarah, we're all bad at math. Help us out.
Chapter 45. Rowan watches Celaena secretly master her Fey magic, seamlessly combining brutal hand-to-hand combat with lethal fire shields and daggers. A week later, their tense training is interrupted when they find another mutilated demi-Fey corpse and discover oily black blood under its nails, confirming the horrific Wordstone creatures are actively hunting magic wielders. They spend the night huddled together in a tree where a shirtless Rowan cleans his weapons, and Celaena admits that her feral urge to murder Kale probably proves they aren't true mates. Did we think they were mates?
I didn't.
I don't like when they were together, we didn't know that mates were a thing.
Yeah, but she's still, dealing with him in her mind.
Yeah, there's still like unresolved feelings and conflicting unresolved feelings.
She sort of just left him without any like closure for the most part.
Yeah. So in this chapter, she says maybe she'd been a fool to love a man who served the king, but Kale had been what she needed after losing Sam and surviving the mines. And I was like, thank you, Sarah, for summing it up for us. That's it.
Yeah.
Kale served his purpose. Check.
Yeah.
I took shit notes this time around. Chapter 46. Tracking the monsters to a hidden beach cove, the duo discovers 200 mortal soldiers and 3 dark creatures led by General Narok.
I call him Narok. I don't really care. He's not long for this earth.
General
Narok? Yeah.
Operating out of a heavily guarded cave system, Rowan stops a furious Celaena from launching a fiery suicide mission to save a tortured demi-Fae, pointing out that the camp is heavily warded with word marks and iron. Instead, they ambush one of the creatures in the woods, but the monster's suffocating dark magic and blinding speed immediately overpower Celaena, leaving her bleeding and totally outmatched.
Yeah, these things are scary.
They're scary. Chapter 47, the Volg.
Yep.
Volg Prince corners Celaena and uses his mind-bending dark magic to hypnotize her into surrendering, nearly drowning her in her own trauma until Rowan brutally bites her neck to break the spell. Two warriors flee for miles into the Cambrian mountains, desperate to outrun the relentless, terrifying demon. Proving she is an absolute tactical genius, Celaena deliberately lures a pack of flesh-eating skinwalkers into chasing her straight into the path of the pursuing Vogue, letting the two sets of nightmares butcher each other in the dark while she and Rowan hide safely in a tree. Was this the chapter that was like really long?
Yeah, maybe. I don't remember, but I have a question. Do we know that they're Vogue princes just yet?
I don't know. I don't know when we find that out.
So let's talk about that real quick. The collars specifically are for the Vogue princes, and the Vogue princes are like the most powerful ones for the most part.
Yes.
So that's important to know, just like the power scale of the things that they're fighting. So like Cain, example, was not possessed by a Vogue prince because he wasn't wearing the collar, he was wearing the ring. So that's just important. Like she almost died to Cain, right? And these things are like the ones with the collars are substantially more powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. Is this also where her flashback occurs?
Probably. I mean, I thought it would.
Yeah, because if she's drowning in her own trauma. So let's talk about the flashback.
That's the second one. That's the second one.
Yeah, that's the big one.
This is not yet. This is where this is not happening yet.
All right, chapter 48. Rowan takes command of Mistward to prepare for the looming siege, but the grueling war planning is shattered when the devastating news arrives from Adarlan.
Adarlan.
Celaena is absolutely gutted to learn that the slaves in Calacuva and Endovier staged an uprising only for the king of Adarlan to slaughter every single one of them in retaliation. Completely consumed by grief and guilt for abandoning her people, the Broken Queen walks into the fortress boundaries and violently unleashes a catastrophic blast of her Fey magic directly onto the ward stones. Okay, I have something to say about this chapter, but I don't I already know how Rick's gonna respond to it, and I'm not gonna like it. So I'm gonna try. We've been talking about is the king the big bad?
Mm-hmm.
And my reaction in this chapter was, if there is a bigger bad than the king, I do not want to meet him. And what I mean by that, earlier in one of the books, I was talking about how the atrocities in this series are really rooted in they feel really realistic to me. And Rick said something like, just you wait, you're going to be wishing that the bad things that happen were as gentle as this, basically. And I don't know how to say this concisely, but the king keeps doing terrible things. And it's not that the terrible things are worse than the last terrible thing, because they're all terrible, right? And whether he murdered one innocent person or thousands of innocent people, murdering innocent people is an atrocity. And blah, 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 I teach the Holocaust, my lens is a Jewish lens. There's a line in the Talmud that's whoever destroys a life, it is as though he has destroyed an entire world, and whoever saves a life, it is as though he's saved an entire world. So each life is a world unto itself, right? So this is a lot of worlds that are shattered. And I guess what I'm trying to say is if there is a bigger bad than the king, I'm not interested in the atrocities becoming becoming detached from reality at this point, because the king is an incredibly terrible person who's committing all these atrocities. And if there is some bigger bad that's even worse than the king, I don't want to be comparing atrocities in that way. Does that make sense?
Yes.
If there's a bigger bad, I want him to be pulling the strings, but not oh God, he's even worse than the king. You know what I mean? The king is bad. He's bad.
I will again. I will frame this without a spoiler, and I'll just respond to that. I think you will be. Whatever happens next, I think you'll be good with it.
Great.
Kim?
But, like, does that make sense that I'm like...
Based on everything she just said, I think she'll be good with what happens. Whatever it happens.
Yeah, I think so also, but and Amanda, I think you are absolutely making sense. Of like
you said a thing.
Yeah, I think these atrocities, like there are thousands of people who have been unnecessarily killed by the king.
Yeah,
so we don't want to dismiss that. Like this is horrific.
I was concerned until you said a specific thing that I won't tell you what you said.
Yeah,
but I'm fine with it. You'll be fine. You'll be good.
But yeah, like it was specifically when I was talking about Kaltain and like how Kaltain was being like repeatedly assaulted.
I'll text Kim on the side.
Yeah,
I know what I said that you're feeling this way about.
You don't actually.
It's when I said pulling the strings.
You didn't.
Your face changed.
That's not it.
My face is beautiful.
Didn't say it was a bad thing.
Your dog.
That dog I love. We did this Scooby-Doo skit with our students for the language festival, and we listened to the audio of it so many times
We're
that
traumatized.
it's like, we're traumatized about that dog. Oh no, your dog? That dog I love? What a shame.
It was really good skit though.
It was really good. Some of our best work.
Anyway,
it was around Kaltain being assaulted, and I was like, this guy sucks. And you were like, just you wait. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't feel like he sucks more than I felt then. Fair. He sucks all the time.
Yeah.
Because whether it was just Kaltain or 2 entire slave camps full of rebels, every life is a world.
Well,
is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, hold on. But it was more of Parrington with Kaltain, no?
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'm not... For me, his awfulness is like, compared to the first book or whatever, to now is even if you want to put it in the terms of a singular person, like, and we'll get to it in the last chapter, but like what he fucking made Dorian watch, like,
yeah,
so like,
yeah.
Right.
No, it's like everything he does is he just keeps finding new creative ways to be horrible.
Yeah.
But I don't think that you can like rank his horribleness because everything he does, I think, is independently the most horrible thing. Does that make sense?
It does.
That's just like my framework on atrocities.
Right. No, I guess to me, it's just like the first horrible thing he did was like, oh my God. And then it's just like, it can't get worse than this. I mean, and I know you're saying not to rank them, but like, I keep getting shocked of the level of the thing, like, I don't know. It's
yeah. I guess one
of the things I keep finding new ways to be like, wow. Even if they're lateral.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I disagree, but I also understand why.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everything he does, I'm like, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I also like I only like studying history that's fucked up. So I'm not interested in studying history that's not fucked up.
Light reading.
Man's inhumanity to man. That's my historical interest.
So I will say, and you shared the line from the Talmud, which I love. I got a new tattoo 2 weeks ago. And it is of 2 birds and a whole lot of other stuff happening in there. But one of the inspirations for it is from a line from the Bible. Oh. It's sparrows are 2 for a penny, and yet not one sparrow falls to the ground without your Father knowing. And so likewise, it also is the idea of like every life matters.
Every life matters. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
For Jewish and Christian.
I want to share something from a reading. All right, go ahead.
This whole podcast is us sharing stuff.
All right. Well, we got a Bible. We got what was the other one?
The Talmud.
We got that. I'm gonna find.
What's the Talmud?
I'm sorry. What?
What's the Talmud?
Oh, I mean, everybody knows that the Talmud is the central text of the Rabbinic Judaism and the second in authority only to the Hebrew Bible.
What's the Hebrew Bible?
Look, it's 1 question per hour, so you can continue reading.
The Talmud is commentary on the Mishnah, which is commentary on the Torah. It's basically like Jews arguing about subtleties and like what text means over thousands and thousands of years in the margins of one book.
Okay.
And then they go and study the Talmud and argue over that.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. And now they just like make, I don't know, like Medium articles and like curated things on Safaria.org. All right, what do you got?
Not yet.
Religious
You read
studies,
it. Not yet. I need some time. Read.
Chapter 49. Back in Rifthold, the king of Adarlan gleefully announces the brutal massacre of the Endovier and Kalakula slaves during a state luncheon, horrifying the court. A panicked Dorian Havilliard begs Sorsha to flee the castle before his father discovers his magic, but the loyal healer stubbornly refuses to leave his side. Meanwhile, Kael Westfall finds a devastated Aelin Ashryver mourning in the secret tomb just before the city's brave musicians stage a silent, breathtaking protest at the Royal Theatre by playing the forbidden anthems of the slaughtered kingdoms. I loved that.
Yep.
Because we saw the theater in Assassin's Blade, and the theater being this representation of like the beauty of the aristocracy and like, you know, dancing like bread and circuses, right? And then for them to like play each of these like anthems of each of these lands that have been conquered by Adarlan, and then to play the final song they played was Adarlan's anthem, but like I imagine it like in a minor key instead of a major key, like as a mourning song. And then we don't see the members of the orchestra die, but we are told that they're never heard from again. I don't know if I've talked about this on this podcast, but I really love resistance.
Right.
And the concept of it and the way that it's written about in this book.
Gotta say, art as a form of resistance.
I love it. I really love it. Again, like feels very realistic to me.
Totally.
Chapter 50. After Selena exhausts her fiery rage into the Wardstones, Rowan reveals that Wendlin's army is not coming to save them from the impending attack. In a deeply emotional moment of absolute loyalty, Rowan hands her back her dagger and officially calls her Fireheart, finally recognizing her as the true queen. As they prepare to face the demonic army alone, Selena formally claims the immortal prince as her friend, knowing their inevitable parting in Doranel will completely destroy her. I love this.
Yeah. Great.
This is where he says that I like where we start seeing the phrase "to whatever end," and we see it a lot. Oh God,
that's great! I love that chapter. I love that quote.
And like we like the wording of like "to what end" we've seen a lot, and now we're seeing "to whatever end," which is like a pact between Rowan and Selena that we start seeing a lot here, and that we hear repeated throughout the rest of this book. And because I'm on Etsy, I know is like a thing. When he gives her back the dagger, we learn that he has been taking care of her dagger the whole time and like cleaning it and sharpening it, which I think is really sweet. And then my commentary for this chapter is that Rowan sees Selena Aelin in a way that none of these other men have. Kael and Dorian and Sam all saw the parts of Selena that she was willing to show. But because of the way that she and Rowan have been forced together, and I think like not even the men, right? Like Nehemia too, have only seen the parts of her that she was willing to share. But because of the way that she and Rowan have been forced to interact, Rowan is seeing all of the parts of her, and he is honoring all of the parts of her, and in a few chapters pledging his loyalty to all of the parts of her. And it's just nice to see. It's nice to see that he's like, I see all of you and I'm not going anywhere. Whether this becomes a romantic entanglement or not, I appreciate that.
And I like the parallels to the earlier conversation with Dorian and Kael, where Dorian was like, you don't get to choose what parts of somebody you love and care about.
Yes.
And so, it's sort of like Dorian coming to that realization, and then we're seeing that sort of acted out by Rowan as well.
Yeah.
So we love good men.
We love good men.
Speaking of good men, I love to read this excerpt from a historical text.
Tristan just whispered under his breath, "Oh God."
The game is a lie. The stats are a lie. The only thing that is real is the blood on your hands and the hole in your heart where your home used to be. Porthos, the first author of the Dungeons Archivist Cookbook. That's from Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Okay. I've only read the first one.
Yeah, the cookbook's not in it yet. That was a good one, Rick. I like it.
There you go. See? I did it.
Rick's religion.
What?
I said Rick's religion.
That's right.
Dungeon Crawler Carl. Chapter 51. The siege of Mistward begins as a suffocating, unnatural darkness sweeps out of the forest, led by General Narek and the 3 Volg princes. Panic erupts when the fortress is breached from within, revealing that treacherous Demi-Fae unlocked the secret escape tunnel to let the mortal soldiers slaughter the weakest residents. Realizing that they are completely outmatched, Celaena orders Rowan to save the people inside while she heroically steps completely outside the protective wardstones, armed with the legendary sword Goldrin and a blazing shield of fire to face the demon princes alone.
Scary stuff. Didn't know how she was going to do this.
Scary stuff. Chapter 52, I think, is the very long chapter, or chapter 53. I don't know. Chapter 52, Celaena engages in a brutal fiery duel against the 3 Volg princes, who gleefully reveal they are ancient demons summoned from the realm of eternal dark and ice. Pushing her magic past its breaking point to maintain the flaming shield over the fortress, Celaena begins coughing up blood as her power violently burns out. Just as Rowan's elite Fae cadre?
Yeah, yes, it's the cadre, and I hate the name of that group for some reason. I don't know. I just don't like that name.
Just as Rowan's elite squad.
Oh, thank you. You've made it much better.
Elite squad. What's the wording?
What? Who shot who in the what now?
In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives
of this elite squad
investigate these cases are a member of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. Okay. Rowan's elite squad, known as the cadre, miraculously arrives to slaughter the mortal soldiers inside. A depleted and broken Celaena is swallowed whole by the terrifying demonic darkness, leaving a pinned Rowan screaming in pure agony. Okay, 53 is the big one.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Celaena falls into the endless abyss of her own trauma, fed on by the Volg princes who force her to relive the agonizing deaths of Nehemia, Sam, and her brutal whipping in Endovir. At first, it's just her parents and Nehemia, and I'm like, hello, Sam Cortland did not die for our sins, for us to forget about him. But then he shows up. Just as she is ready to surrender to the darkness, she is met by the young Princess Aelin Galathynius and the spirits of her loved ones who lovingly urge her to get up and fight. Realizing she must become the light to drive out the dark, she forgives herself and finally embraces her badass birthright as the Queen of Terrasen.
Yeah, and this had a lot of backstory. This was great. I love a backstory. I guess that's why I like Assassin's Blade. We basically go through the whole nights leading up to her parents' death, right? That night, basically, Dorian was there. Kale wasn't there. Dorian was there. Adian was there. And they were kind of just like, Dorian was, I don't know. I want to say he was a dick, but he just didn't know, like, that he didn't have any friends.
He was a snot-nosed little kid.
Right, yeah. He had no friends. He didn't know how to, like, interact with anybody.
He does say that he has one friend and that his friend is Heir of
Fire.
Unwell.
Then Aelin starts getting some headaches, right? And she basically...
Because the king is there.
Right.
Yeah,
the king is the big bad.
This is actually chapter 54 that we're talking about.
Great, so I'll stop.
So I'm just going to read the summary and then you can...
I thought that was this. I thought it skipped it. Go ahead.
I thought so too, and then I started reading chapter 54 and I was like, whoops. In a devastating flashback to 10 years ago, we see the king of Adarlan magically plant a dark parasitic worm into young Aelin's mind during a banquet in Orinth, forcing her family to flee to their country manor. The true horror of the night is revealed when Lady Marian, who, as we all know, is the fox from Disney's Robin Hood, makes the ultimate sacrifice to buy Aelin time to escape, only for the traumatized princess to fall from a sabotaged bridge into the freezing river Florian. Returning to the present, a fully healed Celaena accepts that the king orchestrated the entire slaughter, reaching out to take Aelin's hand and awaken from the nightmare. Okay, now you can keep talking. The king was there. She had headaches.
Yeah, she had headaches. She basically exploded, and she didn't explode. She was like, her magic started spurting out. Fire started going everywhere. They removed her, right? and the king basically sort of he did that on purpose to basically say like, she's dangerous. We have to kill this line because we don't know what they can do. So someone that night came in and killed her family. Right? They started to chase her, and she was running over the bridge. The person who was chasing her cut the line of the bridge. She fell into the water. I thought there was another. Oh yeah. Like you said, Marion was there. She protected her till the last second. And this was. I really like this. I love this. I love stuff like this. I love filling in the gaps.
Yeah, and Marion sacrifices herself.
Yeah.
So that Aelin can get away.
Yeah.
The other thing too, we don't know who actually killed her parents,
right.
But we do know the smell. And so the smell smells like the Valk.
Like the Valk.
So we know that there's a crossover there. Also for Amanda, do you remember the last thing that Marion said to Aelin?
I think she says, is it when she says to tell her daughter that she loves her? Yeah. So Marion's daughter is Aelin. Is it Aelin or Aelin?
Aelin.
It's Aelin. And I just want to shout out anybody else who knows a Romance language and really wants it to be Elide. It's not, I looked it up. It's not like Sorsha, how it's actually Saoirse and we've just bastardized it. It's not. The name is Greek. It's Aelin.
If it makes you feel better, my first pronunciation was also Elide.
Yeah.
Mine was Elide, so close. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were all making the last vowel actually have.
Yeah. It's because we all took Romance languages. Yeah. So Marion's husband was also involved in Aelin's parents' court. And they had their one daughter, Aelin. And Aelin, I think, was not living in the castle at the time. She was like often at Hogwarts or something, magic school. And so Marion was like, tell Aelin that I love her. And that was the last thing she said before she sacrificed herself. Aelin makes it, and she turns around basically in time to see and hear the scream and the fall from Marion in the window. Really, another example of Sarah J. Maas giving us a character for only one chapter and giving her a full story arc and making us love her very quickly. She does this kind of in every book. She did this with the unnamed rebel.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she really does this with Maid Marian, the fox from Disney's Robin Hood.
And like you said it before, some of my favorite chapters of this book are that unnamed rebel, the orchestra, right?
Yeah, which again feels like a little Hunger Games to me, where we're getting some perspective from the rest of the world, which I like.
Yeah.
I said this to Rick earlier this week, but I am so much more emotional on this reread than I was on the reread. And maybe it's just because I know what's coming and I know what's happening. But this, I remember reading this the first time and being like, wow, that was really powerful. And this time I'm tears, just really, really in it. So I also love that. I love when a reread feels as or even more satisfying than a first.
You love when a book is itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, chapter 55. Rowan loses his absolute mind trying to reach Celaena in the demonic darkness, only for her to miraculously emerge completely reborn in her Fae form and blazing with glorious immortal fire. Realizing she's literally on fire.
Mm-hmm. That girl is on fire.
Realizing she is on the verge of a fatal magic burnout, Rowan sprints to her side, slicing his own hand to share his raw power and proving that they are incredibly rare, magically bonded Caramel. Sure. Caramel.
Honestly, it doesn't matter. I don't think it's ever mentioned after this book.
Fueled by her gorgeous warrior's magic, Celaena forces pure blinding starlight down the demons' throats, completely incinerating General Narek and the Valg princes into steaming ash. This is so badass.
Yeah, it was awesome. Sarah does a great job at like, and we sort of see it later at the end of this book. I'm also specifically thinking, sort at the end of this series, I'm thinking of Crescent City, and like at the end of the second book, going into the third book, characters get into like we know they're going to survive, but they get into these situations where I'm like, there's zero chance of survival, zero. And they do it somehow. So
yeah, I mean, when they talked about Karanon like a few chapters ago, I was like, so obviously this is going to be them. But it was cool to see it happen.
yeah,
Especially, she was like literally on fire, and then Rowan was able to come to her without getting burned, and that's when they did the seal, and it was the same spot as her oath to Nehemia was. All right, chapter 56, back in Rifthold, a deeply stressed Chaol Westfall, which I think is something we could always say about him, interrupts Dorian Havilliard and Sorcia's romantic workroom bubble to reveal the terrifying truth about the word keys and the demonic Black Towers. Chaol asks Dorian to use his untamed magic to test a geographical spell theory with crystals, proving that the King of Adarlan used the three towers to completely freeze the continent's magic. Stepping fully into his royal authority, Dorian decides he is done playing the obedient son and is ready to completely dismantle his father's empire alongside his friends. This was cool.
yeah.
He's
Chaol
like, I'm going
figured
to
it
set
out.
up a little test, a little experiment of your magic. You got to like rattle the sand or whatever.
Stars.
I don't remember whether it was, no, I know, but in this, I don't remember whether it was sand or water.
It was sand.
And
There was water in the center, but it was around the sand.
Okay, got it. Yeah, this was so cool.
Chaol can be smart.
as an aside, if anyone's watching this on YouTube right now, I just want to apologize for how much I'm blowing my nose. We had 2 lovely days in New York this week, and now my allergies have exploded.
Yep.
So the good news is it's cold again.
Yeah, took 2 warm days, and that was it. Now,
Also, you're hearing this like a week or two after that because we're ahead.
Oh
So,
yeah.
so hopefully it's nice again
Yeah,
when you're hearing this.
because we're taking 2 weeks off from recording.
But you'll never know.
I still have big feels about that.
After chapter 57, after recovering from the brutal battle at Mistward, Selena pieces together her fractured memories and realizes her toxic ex-boss, understatement of the century, Arabin Hamel, stole her magical amulet of Orinth, which secretly contains the third word key. At this point, I was reading this in the office, and I was like, Rick, where the fuck is the second word
You
key?
did say that.
Because I was like, how can it be the third? And I'm still a little confused. But Rick explained to me that the reason she's like it's the third is because we are already assuming that the king has 2.
Right.
We don't actually.
Too powerful to just have 1.
We don't know if it's actually the third one. The king is guaranteed to have 1. We think he has 2.
We think he has 2. But she was wearing the amulet of Orinth when she fell into the river, and she thought it was lost in the river, but now she's realizing that Arabin stole it. She tells Rowan the heartbreaking story of her past and her kingdom, completely trusting him with her history as they prepare to leave. Bidding an emotional farewell to Emerys and Luca, the fully realized queen heads into the woods with Rowan to finally face the manipulative queen, Maeve, in Norinel. Chapter 58, the rebel leaders are desperately planning their next moves in Rifthold when Murtaugh bursts into their hideout with earth-shattering news. Aelin Galathynius is alive, wields massive fire magic, and just obliterated Adarlan's forces in Wendlin. This is so cool. It's so cool that they know she's back. So do I have to call her Selena now, or is she Aelin?
She's Aelin.
Is this the point she becomes Aelin? Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Like when she steps through, when she like takes Aelin's hand in that flashback and like steps through, like that was the moment where I was like, okay, she's Aelin now. Anyway, Aelin Ashryver, according to Jake. Aelin Ashryver is absolutely overcome with pride, realizing his beloved cousin has finally stopped hiding and is calling her court to arms. Murtaugh and his riders immediately gallop across the continent to spread the news like wildfire, sending a massive continent-wide middle finger to the raging King of Adarlan. It's a whole troop of Paul Reveres out here.
And Kim loves this part.
And I love. What's that?
I said you love this part.
I do love this part. Well, again, it's like the actual like seeing of what's happening in the world also.
Yeah.
And so like this idea of, like you're saying, like the Paul Revere's riding out to every small village in town, and then every small village in town sending out more Paul Revere's. And yeah, that just felt like also sort of like true to life in history.
Yeah.
And again, and like another really lovely moment of resistance.
Yeah. Also, Kim is from New England, so Paul Revere, patron saint. One of them. Him and Sam.
April 18th, the ride of Paul Revere.
You have to learn that.
Also happens to be my sister's birthday, but I can recite the entire poem.
I love that. Chapter 59. Celaena and Rowan arrive in the stunning riverbound Fae capital of Doranel, marching straight into Queen Maeve's stone palace to demand answers about the word keys. When Celaena refuses to surrender the location of the third key, a sadistic Maeve orders her twin wolves and Rowan's own elite squad to brutally whip him until the assassin talks. Pushed past her breaking point by watching her Karanom bleed for her, Celaena drops all her restraints and unleashes her catastrophic god-level fire magic, literally setting the world ablaze to protect her man. I said something earlier when I was telling Rick where I was in the book, and I was like, she set the world on fire. And then I was like, no, she set like the field on fire. And Rick was like, nope, you said world. And then this is where she's like literally set the world on fire. And I was like, dope.
And Aelin makes like a reference here of basically like how fucked Maeve is because of how Maeve like set the town up, how it's all stone.
Yeah.
And she's like, you fucked yourself. Like, you're done.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to die.
Yeah.
But I also like that she has like so much control over it that she's able to like set it all on fire, but not harm a single person until.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
I teach about this member of the Dutch resistance who burned down a municipal building in Amsterdam, like created a bunch of fake IDs and then burned down the record building so they couldn't compare the fakes to the originals. And one of the things that I ask students about is like, is this an act of violent resistance or nonviolent resistance? Because she did burn a building down, but they did it in the middle of the night and they like got the security guards out. So like nobody was actually hurt. So it's like, is this an act of violent resistance or nonviolent resistance? Because it's like fire, but it's nobody died. Yes, Ricardo.
I say violence.
Yeah, I mean, I
only
think I agree.
Because arson is a crime.
Yeah, but based on the laws, like
arson is not. It's just against a property.
Yeah, but like based on the laws, like being out after curfew was a crime.
I'm not. Oh, okay. I'm not fighting anybody. I still think.
I'm not either. It's like an interesting. The three people that I teach about specifically are like intended to be people where there like isn't a clear-cut answer about like what kind of resistance is. So I teach about this woman. I teach about another person who like basically like poisoned a bunch of German POWs after the war. And like, is that okay or not? And then I teach about the Ringelblum archives, which are just like boxes filled with like paper. Like he just like collected stuff. And it's like, is that resistance? And the answer to that one is yes, because it's the only reason we knew anything about the Warsaw Ghetto. Anyway, this is not a podcast about the Warsaw Ghetto. I'm just like living it. Like this is, I'm teaching this content right now. And so I'm really like living in it. All right. Chapter 60. Celaena unleashes a massive controlled wildfire across the entirety of Doranel to prove her god-level power, calling out Queen Maeve for murdering her lover Athril to steal the word keys. After terrifying Maeve with a fake vision of her conquering the world, Celaena successfully trades Athril's ancient ring to break Rowan's blood oath to the Dark Queen. Free at last, Rowan immediately pledges a new eternal blood oath to Celaena, and the two soul-bonded warriors leave Doranel to get her scars tattooed with the stories of her fallen loved ones. Can somebody explain this like Maeve and the word keys thing to me?
Kim, you want to do it?
Sure, the word key part.
Well, like, okay, so Athril was Maeve's lover.
Yes.
and he was somehow connected to Brennan.
Yes.
How? I don't remember. Or do we not know?
We don't really know yet. We know he was his friend.
Okay.
We know he was his friend.
Friend,
Yeah.
great. So, and Athril was Maeve's lover, and then Maeve murdered Athril. Right? No. Okay. It says calling out Queen Maeve for murdering her lover, Athril. Okay. So our understanding here is that Maeve murdered Athril to steal the word keys. Who had them? Brennan had them.
Brennan had them.
And he hid them.
He hid them because he thought they were too powerful to be together.
Right. And he hid them from Maeve.
He hid them from Maeve.
That was, yeah. And so
he didn't put them back where they came from in the gates.
No.
He hid them because he thought someone would need to use them, but Maeve shouldn't use them.
Yeah.
I think I know I read this somewhere here. I think they said that he didn't know how to put them back in or something like that. You're dead.
It's such a sensitive button. I brush it against my chin and it turns off. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, he didn't know how to put it back in, and he didn't want them together, so he ended with Maeve, so he sent them away.
The ring and the sword were in the cave when she was fighting the serpent thing. And so that was Athril's ring that Maeve wants.
Mm-hmm.
So she traded the ring to break Rowan's oath. And then Rowan was like, I'm going to swear to you instead. And Selena was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then he does it anyway. But she does have some questions about the sword that she finds, where she's like, I like that ruby was the eye, but maybe it wasn't, but maybe it was. And she's just kind of hemming and hawing about that.
So many questions with little answers.
Okay, great. I'm just basically doing a little gut check on am I confused because I missed something, or am I confused because I don't know everything yet? It sounds like I'm confused because I don't know everything yet, which is fine with me. But I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
We're just getting all the little pieces.
Yeah, which honestly, so much happens in the last 20% of a Sarah J. Maas book. It's normal for me to have missed something. So I just wanted to check that. Anyway, love her getting her scars tattooed with the stories of her fallen loved ones. Chapter 61, we're at the War Games with Manon Blackbeak. She's leading her Elite 13 in a flawless, hyper-violent aerial assault to secure the enemy clan's glass eggs. We're playing Capture the Flag. Amidst the chaos, the sadistic Iskra, Yellowlegs, sabotages Petra Blueblood by having her wyvern rip open Keely, who's Petra's wyvern's neck, sending the Blueblood heir plummeting toward a messy death in the canyon. In a shocking display of mercy, Abraxas dives into the abyss, allowing Manon to leap from her castle mid-air to rescue Petra just before the dying Keely crashes into the earth. This is where we're seeing that the wyvern and their riders are definitely bonded in some way and communicating with each other in some way.
It's giving Liam vibes.
It's giving Liam vibes.
Well, I remember the first time reading this, and I was like, oh, Rebecca read Throne of Glass, and was like, I'm making a whole series about just this.
Yes. Honestly, maybe.
Yeah, I'm being serious. I'm not even kidding. The connection that the wyvern have with them, and Rebecca uses wyvern as well. And I'm not even mad at it. Right, the war.
This is gamifying.
This is basically an exact. I think this was at the end of the first book, right? This particular game where they have to go and get a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Fourth Wing is fanfic. That's what we've learned.
I love it. I love when a book is a book. All right. Chapter 62. Manon is officially crowned wing leader after winning the War Games, but she earns nothing but disgust and physical abuse from Mother Blackbeak, the bitch, for showing mercy to a rival. During the bloody victory celebration, her grandmother gifts Manon a brutally tortured Croken Witch to execute in front of the entire host to prove her obedience and cruelty. Though the Croken pitying tells Manon that the matrons have molded them into monsters, Manon silences her by spilling her throat, secretly keeping the witch's red cloak as she grapples with her first taste of mortal regret. And she doesn't keep the cloak. She's gifted the cloak.
Right.
She's not secretly keeping it. She's gifted the cloak.
She's given it to him because she kills the Croken.
That was the whole point, because her grandmother is like,
your cloak
is ratty, and so I brought you a new one.
Yeah. because her original cloak was also stolen from a Croakan witch, right? As like a souvenir of murder. But something that's happening in like Manon's internal monologue here is like the Wyvern are vicious killing machines, and yet they're able to show loyalty and mercy and empathy and all of these things. And so Manon is like, I too don't have a heart, but maybe I too can show loyalty and mercy and empathy and all of these things. So it's like interesting to watch her kind of learn from the Wyvern about how to be a vicious killing machine and also not heartless. Chapter 63. Aedion and Chaol share a tense drink on the roof, secretly plotting to safely smuggle Dorian and his healer out of the castle before Chaol's forced departure to Anil. Dorian and Sorsha share a tender morning in bed, blissfully unaware that the political wind is shifting and a deadly trap is already being laid for them. Their fragile peace is violently shattered when Amethy and the royal guards ambush them in the workroom, dragging the panicked prince and his lover to the king's private chambers.
That's the real bitch here.
Oh boy. Yeah, seriously.
Chapter 64. Inside the council room, Aedion valiantly claims responsibility for the treason and drops his fake wordstone ring, offering his own life to protect Chaol and bait the king of Adarlan. The king accepts the confession, but delays the execution to use Aedion as bait for Aelin, turning his sadistic attention to Sorsha and revealing he intercepted her rebel spy letters. Despite Dorian sobbing on his knees and begging for her life, the king mercilessly orders the guard to decapitate Sorsha, shattering the prince's heart in a single bloody blow. This was crazy.
Insane.
Rick, I felt like you summed this up when you talked to me about it.
I don't remember what I said. Can you remind me?
I was like, this is crazy. And you were like, yeah, I was like, so they walked into the room and I was like, Sorsha's going to die.
Yeah.
And you were like, they walked in the room and I was like, how are they going to get out of this?
Oh, right.
And then I was like, oh, they're not going to get
out of this.
Yeah. I had thought, I knew there was more to Sorsha. I had thought that maybe she was a lead. I had thought that maybe she was
writing to Yrene.
What?
You thought she was writing to Yrene.
I thought she was writing to Yrene when they kept talking about her friend. I did not think she herself was a rebel, and I really didn't think she was writing to Ren. I never would have guessed that. And yeah, so I knew that Sorsha wasn't Dorian's endgame, and so I was kind of like, how's he gonna not be with her? And the answer is because she's gonna die.
I will say
that's his villain origin story.
When I think about this entire series of books, there's like a few scenes that stick out in my head.
This is one of them.
And like this scene, like when I think about Throne of Glass, it's like one of the things that like immediately clicks in my brain. I was like, the first time I read this, so shocked. Like,
couldn't believe it.
Yeah, and it's such a, he calls all four of them there. And he's got something up his sleeve for each of the four of them, which is like, again, like this guy is big bad. He may not be the big bad, but he is a big bad for sure. Maybe there's more than one big bad and we're not ranking them, but he's bad, man. He's smart and he's doing stuff.
I definitely remember the first time reading this. I was surprised that Aedion sacrifice himself. I really thought Chaol was gonna. I thought they were gonna go through with that.
You really thought Aedion you did not trust Aedion this whole book.
No. What I mean is, I thought Chaol would. I thought Chaol was going to be the one to sacrifice himself. I didn't expect Aedion to jump in at the last second.
Yeah, got you.
So and then, okay, yeah, next chapter, because that's where it ends.
All right. Driven by grief and rage, Dorian's dormant magic violently snaps, freezing the arrows meant to kill Chaol and blasting the king backwards with a massive wave of ice. Sacrificing his own freedom, Dorian orders the captain to run, resulting in the king brutally snapping a dark wordstone collar around the prince's neck and enslaving his mind to the Valg. Chaol manages to escape the castle with Fleetfoot sighting, and the sacred sword Damaris, fleeing to the rebel hideout where he and Ren swear to save their captured friends. We also get a low Mort sighting here.
Mm-hmm.
Mort doesn't move with him, but he's like, if Aelin comes back,
Tell her this.
Tell her
what happened.
tell her what happened. Yeah. So shouts out Mort. We love him.
Also, and we've talked a lot about like things that have happened where we're just like, how the fuck do they get out of this?
Yeah.
This is that moment with Dorian.
For sure.
Like, oh my God, he's in this collar. Like, how does this ever change?
I have no idea how he's getting out of this collar. Like, honestly.
Yeah. So Adian is trapped. He's being held as bait for Aelin. Dorian is in a collar, not just a ring, a collar.
She's a prince.
We hear like, look at what the rings do. Imagine what a collar can do. Like Kale is having that. I think we're seeing this from Kale's perspective.
And
Kale,
go ahead.
Kale has escaped, and Sorsha is dead.
Kale has escaped, but he's now like underground with the rebels.
Yes.
So it's not like he's free.
Going back to Dorian, like Cain was a man. Period. That was it. He was a man.
Yeah. Fucking
Dorian has a Vogue prince and magic. Like.
Yeah.
He's now he's
a weapon.
He's a weapon, and I was like, truly, my thought was, it's over. Like Dorian is now a bad guy. There is no way he can get out of this
through no choice of his own. He's like been enslaved to.
Right. Like
really makes you
go ahead.
Think about like all of these creatures and like who they were.
Right.
When we're not these creatures.
I really like my prediction for the next book or the one after that is the king is the big bad and they will kill Dorian. Like they have to kill Dorian. It is the only thing they can do. Like to save him. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Right. He's turned venom.
Right.
Like, yeah.
There's no cure.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Chapter 66, we're back with Manon. Following her brutal victory, Manon Blackbeak is ordered by her ruthless grandmother to fly half of their aerial host straight to the Duke's stronghold in Morith. Leading the covens through the night sky, Manon suppresses her confusing new emotions and focuses entirely on her lethal duty to the Blackbeak clan. She resolves to fight the King of Adarlan's bloody war without hesitation, solely focused on the ultimate prize of finally reclaiming their lost homeland in the Western Wastes.
Yes.
It's just like the little conclusion of her story in this book. Chapter 67, standing on the rickety docks in the slums at dawn, Kale takes one last look at his lovely eagle-pommeled sword that represented his entire life as captain of the guard. Armed now with the ancient king's blade Damaris, he fully embraces his new identity as an oathbreaker and a traitor to the Adarlanian crown. In a deeply symbolic act of severing his past, he throws his old sword into the dark waters of the Avery River, committing himself entirely to the rebellion. I love this for him.
Me too.
I know, like, we're all supposed to feel complicated about Kale, but, like,
this was good.
I appreciate his journey in this book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then chapter 68, our last chapter, despite his bossy protests, Celaena forces Rowan to stay behind in Wedlin. I did not care for this. While she boards a ship back to Rifthold to infiltrate the Assassin's Keep and reclaim the third word key, which, as a reminder, is rightfully hers. They share a fiercely emotional farewell at the docks, where Celaena promises she will send for him soon to help her raise an army and rattle the stars. Standing on the deck under the night sky, she fully accepts her identity as Aelin Ashryver Galathynius, Queen of Terrasen, leaving her fear behind to go completely obliterate her enemies. She does see a little hawk
throne
as she's sailing away. It goes back home. Yeah, I was like, we just spent this whole book with them together, and now they're Celaena, stop leaving characters that I'm invested in. It's so annoying.
Well, and they're like, you know, SJM in this entire series does these like Lord of the Rings breaking up the gang things times. And so it literally is like every single one of our main characters is no longer together.
Right. I was just thinking that. Every single one of them is in a different spot.
Yeah.
I guess Kale's with Ren, but Ren's not a main character.
Right. But fuck Ren.
Yeah, that's how it ends.
I don't know. I don't have words.
Stars and soup. What do we think?
Socket, do you have words? What do you think?
I couldn't say it. What? No, nobody can
down
see her.
here.
I always like held on this comparison because it really is it. But we couldn't pause on Empire Strikes Back. You know, like
Yeah,
this is Empire Strikes Back. Like,
for the record, was never okay. So I don't know how much we talked about this on the podcast. My job is to break up our chapters and to set our recording schedule and to figure out what we're recording when and blah, blah, blah. And I am traveling with our school to South Africa in a couple weeks, and then I'm back, and then I'm immediately, yeah, okay. Like, by the time you hear this, I will be in South Africa. So in like 5 days. And then I'm back for 3 weeks, and then I'm going to Germany. And also, we really want to read Furybound as it comes out. So I made a schedule around that. And so I had us pausing here and then reading some other stuff and then coming back after Heir of Fire. And Rick keeps being like, you wanted to stop after Heir of Fire. And I'm like, that's not what happened. It was purely mathematical. And now Kim is mad at me because we're not recording the first Queen of Shadows episode. Today's the 14th. We're not recording the first Queen of Shadows episode until the 30th. And she's like, I can't believe we have to wait that long. And I'm like, I'm going to be in the other hemisphere. I don't understand why you guys are fighting me. Go ahead, Rick.
can you not hear the sad violin music playing for you? That makes me sad.
No.
I'll add it in post. I was playing sad violin music for you.
You watched me spend like
all right,
2.5
fine. So
hours.
your job is setting schedule, yada, yada, yada. My job is editing the video, uploading it to everything.
You don't edit the video.
My job is currently recording this video, getting it into YouTube, putting the descriptions there, and getting it to all the podcast services. Kim?
I make the PDFs for ChatGPT.
You made the PDFs once. And
I made them twice. Yes, if you all listened to our episode last week, you heard us fight about this last time.
Kim is getting a new job. I'm giving her a tutorial on her job this week. Everyone's going to have a job.
Kim's job?
Kim's job is going to be to take the files, break them up, and get us the summaries.
I did that last week, and you didn't like my summaries.
Your summaries were wrong.
I did exactly what you told me to do.
Okay, well, I'm going to teach you to use Gemini this week.
Anyway,
stars and soup. Yeah, stars and soup.
Yeah, there's no soup in this book.
No. So kissy face emoji.
Yeah, not even. There's no kissing in this book. Well, I guess there's Sorsha and Dorian kiss.
There we go.
But that's not on screen, really.
No, they give a kiss.
All right, fine. Fine, kissy face emoji. I gave this 4.5 stars. I liked it. I am liking these books increasingly more. So I liked it more than the last one, and I liked the last one more than the one before, and I liked that more than Assassin's Blade. It's not at a 5-star for me yet, just because it's hard for me to rate. We're like not even halfway through this series pages wise. So it's hard for me to like make that call. So I don't really know what it needed to do that would have gotten me to 5 stars other than that, like, we're still in the middle of the story. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
This 4.5. I really liked it. Everyone should read the series.
I don't know. I'm not trying to get you to change your stars. I have a question. I have a wondering.
Yes.
Empire Strikes Back's 5 stars, right?
Yeah.
And that's in the middle of a thing.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying.
No, I'm just asking. I'm literally just asking a question.
Yeah, I'm not saying it couldn't. I mean, A Court of the Green covers 5 stars.
Yeah.
It's the best of the 3. So I don't know. I guess I'm just like not. I'm just not there yet.
Yeah, no, it was just a question.
But I also could see how, like, I know what you've been saying about Manon. Like, I could see how if once I know her and Rowan and Aelin better, looking back at their origins, I might be like, oh, I really loved this a lot more. But like where I'm at, I'm like, yeah, I really loved this. But like, will this particular book among this series stand out for me forever and ever? Amen. I don't know. I don't know yet.
Sure.
Yeah.
4.5 though.
No,
great rating.
yeah, no, it's great.
I'm trying to be less slutty with my stars.
It's okay. We love a slut. We love a star slut.
I mean, that is you, Rick. So yes.
Go ahead.
As we know, I said it previously. I give it 5. I don't super love like the first third of this book. I don't really love like the starting part with her and Gwendolyn and like coming into her magic. It's kind of like meh. But like the last 20% of this book just like blows my brain every time. So I love it.
Go ahead. Read it out loud.
Who is that?
That's me. Read it. Go ahead. What does it say? Average what?
3.39.
Yeah, I am not a star slut. Okay. My average rating
Look
this
at how
year.
many 4s you have. Look at all those 4s.
And I'm still less than a 4.
What's that? That's on Storygraph?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. How do I see that?
You go to the little chart thing and then scroll all the way to the bottom. What are you?
Mine's a 3.71.
Wow.
Yeah, look at that. So you're more of a star slut than me.
I said I'm trying to be less of one.
I have given 2 books this year 5 stars. One of them was Alchemized. The second one is Heir of Fire. Basically for the reasons that I had said. I mean, it's Empire Strikes Back. I love ending on bad notes. I do, like, because like it gets me all emotional and stuff. It's our first look at Manon, who I didn't like at the beginning, but grew to love even in my first read of this. That chamber scene is like Throne of Glass canon trauma. I love the rising of Aelin, like same thing that you said, that each book gets progressively better. Mm-hmm. But this is the one that started it for me. Like, this is if I know the next book is 5 stars for me. It has always been. The tandem, and then so for me it's
really hard to
we're up there
to gauge the tandem read.
Yeah. The tandem read is 5 stars.
Yeah, but it's going to be hard. Like, we'll talk about this.
Yeah.
I don't know how to log that.
That's fine. Honestly, you will be able to. It's okay. It's pretty obvious which book is which. It's like not even.
Yeah, whatever. We'll talk about it.
So for me, 5 stars, and a kissy face emoji.
I've also given 2 books 5 stars this year, and they were Legendborn and Heated Revelry.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Tell me that show wasn't 5 stars for you.
I didn't read the book.
Well, the second book is 5 stars. The first book is not.
Okay.
But mostly that's because Tortom.
All right, what are we reading?
Okay, what have I finished since we last recorded? We recorded on the 8th, and since then I have finished Heir of Fire and listened to all of Check and Mate, which is Ali Hazelwood's YA book. It's about chess. I liked it, but what I need everyone to understand about Ali Hazelwood's YA books is that it's Ali Hazelwood, and then it fades to black. And I'm like, whoa. I don't know. I don't know what I expected. I think I expected it to be like, it's like graphic until it's not. And I think I had expected it to just not be graphic. I don't think a YA book should use the word hard. That's just me. But anyway, I wanted it to not be a YA book. I wanted them to be adults, and they weren't. Anyway, I liked it. It was cute. I think I gave it 4 stars. 3.5. Okay. I tried to read. So, okay, the last Goodreads challenge of the season is this Women's History Month one, and it's all new feminist nonfiction. And I tried to read this book called The Sisterhood of Ravensbrück, How an Intrepid Band of French Women Resisted the Nazis in Hitler's all-female concentration camp. And you would think, Amanda, that sounds hard to read because it's a bummer. And I'm here to tell you that that's not why it's hard to read. It's hard to read because so much is happening and there are so many people and it's all happening so fast. And I feel like I've been reading it for a week and I'm like 5% of the way in the book. And I somehow still have 12 hours left in the book and it's like only 400 pages. And I don't know how this is happening. So I'm about to abandon ship and read instead a book called Thank You for Calling the Lesbian Line.
Hell yeah.
Which is about the self-help line in England for lesbians in the 90s.
Love lesbians.
Oh, and I started Blood Marked, which is the second book in the Legendborn series.
Nice. My reads are so boring because I'm reading Queen of Shadows, even though I have briefly paused this week when I realized that we're not recording for 2 weeks, so that I can not forget all my renewed feelings when we record. And still on DCC 5. I am, however, starting Project Hail Mary,
Nice.
which has been on my TBR forever, and the movie is getting so much buzz that
Yes.
I feel like I have to read it now. And I like Andy Weir. I think he's great. So
yeah, I've heard great things. Rick?
I'm reading Dungeon Crawler Carl book 5, the something. What is it?
The Butcher's Masquerade.
Butcher's Masquerade. And it's pretty long. She's thick. She's like 750 pages. I didn't read as much as this week as I wanted to because life was hard with work. But I'm close to the end. I might be able to finish it this weekend. I have like a little under 5 hours left, which sounds like I should kill it this weekend, but my brain is in melt mode and I don't want to do much of anything, but I am going to try to finish it this weekend. It'll be definitely done by Monday. The big question is what I do after that, because like Kim said, since someone to be unnamed has stopped us from reading Queen of Shadows, I think I might just try to burn through the next Dungeon Crawler Carl book. And she also be thick. I think she's like 750 pages. So
I guess I just don't understand what you guys want from me.
We want you to record in South Africa.
I literally can't.
Record on a giraffe.
I was gonna say we want you to be in the Jeep on the safari.
Yeah.
If I am able to read our chapters in the next 2 weeks, it'll be a miracle. I know I've got 35 hours on a plane between the 3 flights. But it's not, this is a time for me to be reading Abby Jimenez. This is a time for me to be reading YA books. This is not a time for me to be reading intense fantasy books.
I mean, you read The Night Circus last year.
I did read The Night Circus last year, so my take on, I really just don't want to read, might be a little skewed. So we'll see. The news will be out in case any of our students listen to this podcast. We're not going back to South Africa next year. So this will all be different.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I have to do today. I have to make the video announcing next year's trip.
Yay, fun.
Great. What's our homework?
Our homework is to look on my phone because we were supposed to have a special guest and she ghosted us.
Mm-hmm.
She stood us up. I sent her the link and she said, I'll be there in 20 minutes.
All right.
Your homework is to read Queen of Shadows chapters 1 through 25. We are reading Queen of Shadows in 3 parts. Then we're reading Direbound in 3 parts. Then we're reading Furybound in 3 parts. And then we embark on the tandem read. If you're wondering if we're scheduled for our podcast through the end of the year, we're pretty close.
No new hotness.
No new hotness.
We've got a little wiggle room for new hotness, but somebody keeps yelling at me to read Throne of Glass faster.
Yeah, read Throne of Glass faster.
Yeah, and then you guys won't let me do 2 podcasts in one day. I don't know what you want from me.
Well, we could record tomorrow.
We can do 2 in one day. I just need an hour break.
Do we want to record we should talk about this off the air.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.